Datto,
I'm ready.
Datto, 30 minutes starts now. Okay.
All right.
So we have 600
excited.
items. And I want to ask you these questions in this 30 minutes, right? You got me last time for your video, so I'm returning the favor. So question 1. What do you really think of vault cleaning videos? Be honest. Do you enjoy these, or do you feel like people are just at this point jumping on the bandwagon trying to use you like people use Mr. Beast? Like anytime somebody like breathes in the same area as Mr. Beast, they put their Mr. Beast in the thumbnail and make that a video.
Yeah. No, I still like making them, but I'm just surprised at how much people still like watching them.
Yeah.
That's my thing, is like, how are you guys not sick of this by now? You know what I mean? Like, how are people still interested in this? Because I've done, with people I've never done it before.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I understand. But some people, I'm doing second vault cleanings, third vault cleanings with people, and I'm just like,
number 2.
Look, I'm going to run this into the ground at some point, and eventually you'll get sick of this, and eventually people will stop asking me to clean their vaults.
Yeah.
Not just content creators, just the general public wants me to help clean their vaults, and I've seen every vault under the sun at this point. So
Right.
I'm just surprised at how much people want to see it still.
Okay, well, that's a good answer. I'm not going to follow it up because our time is already at 28 minutes and 30 seconds. So let's start with page 1. We have a good amount of 1350s in here. All right, so I've got Sentimental Minaku. I think it's done. I think
Keep
it's been really okay. Moving on.
It's your sentimental thing. When I say keep it, I'm not going to make you delete it, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Am I running Last Wish again for Chattering Bone?
No.
Okay, that's gone. Bye-bye.
It's a gun that everyone wanted to collect and nobody ended up using. Same with this.
Yeah, okay, that's gone too. I'm not the biggest fan of that one anyways. I like this gun. I think it still feels good, but I haven't used it in 2 years. Am I keeping it?
I used this sniper almost exclusively for a couple of years, but if you're not using it anymore, if you don't care about the 883 kills anymore,
no, I'm not.
See you later.
I'm not attached to kill counts, quite honestly. I'm attached to this one because I got Not Forgotten with this gun. I haven't used it since I got Not Forgotten, so that was season 5 or 6.
Yeah, it's a while ago.
Bye.
It's your sentimental keep. I'm not anything that's sentimental. I'm not going to tell you to delete it. It is completely your decision.
No. You're supposed to encourage me to let go of the ghosts of the past. That's how this works, right?
I mean, look, some things you can hold on to. I think that's okay.
Okay, it's been gone. I'm done. I'm over it.
All right, fine.
All right.
Wow. Okay.
Broadsword.
This is how this is gonna go.
Broadsword for. You can't get this gun anymore. Can you? Can you get this gun anymore? Is it kiosk?
I don't know if you can pull it out of collections.
Okay, we'll move over.
I never got the original. Oh wait, no. Claymore was the original.
Yeah, Claymore I never got because I wasn't good enough.
Okay.
So this is another option. So this is okay. We're moving on.
Just double check it if you can pull it out of collections. Cool. Delete this one.
Okay, collections. Where would it be? Weapons, pulse rifles,
weapons, pulse,
broadsword. Okay, yeah. There it is in collections. I don't have a high kill count, so it can go. Bye-bye.
Okay.
43 zoom aggressive sniper. Really good roll. Like it. Moving on.
All right.
Do we keep this? Dare we keep this because of the history?
If you don't care about kill count, you can pull them out and top out a collection.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Bye-bye. Could use the cores.
All right.
Sentimental, unobtainable. I have to keep this one.
Keep it.
Okay. What do you think of Night Watch in PvE still? Is it still useful in GMs?
It is still useful in GMs. I'm just not a huge fan of multi-kill clip in GMs because things take a very long time to kill. You do have so you have explosive payload and multi-kill clip.
Yeah.
It's a great scout still. It's still a great scout, but it's one of those things where you got to go dig through all of your kinetics and just be like, do I have any other scouts I like using?
Right.
If so, I'll get rid of this. But that's still a very good role, and I know a lot of people still love Night Watch.
Okay, sounds good. Moving on. I'll just delete this. You don't like sidearms, so I'm not going to waste your time.
Well, it's also 1350 with no masterwork.
Yeah, that's true.
And no kill tracker.
Revoker just for moral reasons. I don't know why you have this. Exotics. Accrued Redemption, are we about this? Is there better bows out there now? What's the deal?
It's a fine bow, but this is not the role I'd be using in PvE anyway.
Okay,
it's a PvP maybe type thing, but I'm not a PvP bow guy.
So I got this before, I think it was Beyond Light or something, or even before Beyond Light. It was a crazy good role for PvP. Haven't used it since. Gone?
Okay. Sounds like you know what to do. I mean, 120s aren't really super meta.
Yeah.
I still think they're good, but they're not like meta. Get this crap out of my face.
All right. Fun weapon, but haven't used it in a while. So, 13,
Surplus Rampage is pretty unremarkable as a whole. There's so many good submachine guns out there now.
Okay.
People only keep this gun because it's from a seasonal event, and then they never use it.
Okay. Loki, best feeling 150 scout in the game.
Okay, keep it then.
All right.
I have not used the Scholar in years, so I have no input on this.
This is a very good meme option in PvP. Okay, Dire Promise, Dire Promise, Dire Promise. These are all pretty good rolls, I feel.
Okay.
But like...
They're all 1350?
I'm considering Elemental Cap because for Strand, when they rework it, the rest I feel like we can go. Like, this is my PvE
Yeah,
one.
the Overflow Swash is like forgettable.
Okay,
on this gun. Like, it's a fine roll, but there's so many good options now. You got a Fatebringer, cool, you're locked in.
Okay, those are two are gone. This one I want to keep for sentimental reasons because it was my day one Deepstone Crypt gun, but I haven't used it since day one Deepstone Crypt, so I don't know.
That's fine. Okay. That's fine.
This one I have literally never touched. Okay, so that's gone.
Just get rid of it.
Same deal here. Like, very good for niche things. Quick Draw Swash could be interesting, very Legolas-y, but...
if you're a bow user in PvE, I guess maybe, but for me, like, if it doesn't have Archer's Tempo, I honestly don't care.
Okay, it's gone. Bye-bye. Like, I don't know anything about
and
bows.
Also 4 PvP kills, so.
Okay, this is a new heritage. Just kept the roll for reasons, don't really care for it.
Okay.
This is these are both old heritages. I feel like this one's still good, but the new one exists, so these can both go, I suppose.
If you have the new one, or if you can craft it, then both of them can go. Otherwise, I would keep the one on the right.
Okay. I'm just gonna get rid of them both because I have 4 out of 5 for heritage, so I'm soon TM.
Okay, gambler. All right.
This one I got a new version.
Same
of
deal.
this. Gone. Okay, we're at 580. This one, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Keeping it. Okay, good talk.
Okay.
Bad. No distractions. Cold Denial, good in theory.
Get this out of here.
Yeah.
Get it out.
Okay.
Just get it out.
Couple of messengers. We have this one that has all my kills on it, and I love it. This one, which was an interesting idea at the time, and then this one for PvE, which I've never used for PvE, so that can go. And then
that can go.
Perpetual Motion, Headseeker, like...
I know they did something in the Headseeker where they maybe made it actually good for the first time in 8 years.
Yes,
I don't know.
It's very good.
So I would mess around with it and see if you like it, and if you don't, toss it.
Okay, that can stay then. What are we thinking about Time War Inspired these days? Why do I have 2 rolls of the same thing?
Well, you have 2 of the same exact one, so I think we can delete one and move on if we're on a time crunch, because your recording is at 9 minutes and 43 seconds.
I'm getting rid of both. Okay, we've hit 25. So question number 2.
Okay.
If damage was equalized, like all weapons did the same damage, what would be your most comfortable loadout to run in high pressure situations like a day 1 raid?
So I guess it's like sort of like a spin-off of like what's my favorite loadout.
Yes.
I think one of my favorite loadouts right now is like either fixed odds or corrective measure with like some sort of wave frame GL and just a really solid primary. Although if I had to really go with like a gun-based build, I'd probably go with my Warlock Cold Heart build, where I just, you sit in a rift, you beam the crap out of everything with a Cold Heart, and you're just getting all these different particle effects happening. I call it like the disco build, because it's just so many different particle effects going off. You got ionic traces coming in, elemental wells, and you're just beaming the crap out of everything. So if that was a top tier build, that'd be super fun. But in terms of just like a rock solid weapon loadout, one of the machine guns I mentioned with a waveframe GL and just like a rock solid primary. All right.
Okay, so 2 multi-max, both insane rolls, both I haven't used in a while. Kind of want to keep both and see what happens.
This is an Iron Banner gun. I know like things are a little bit more forgivable with getting Iron Banner weapons, but it's still like, not the easiest thing, I guess, maybe. So yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Chroma Rush. What are your thoughts on Chroma Rush?
Heating up, I love Chroma Rush. Heating up Rampage and Feeding Frenzy Kill Clip. Honestly, I feel like either one of these is a keeper. You just need to pick which one. But you haven't used either one of them.
I'll get rid of the Kill Clip one.
A year.
I think I could use Heating Up Rampage in PvP too if I had to keep one.
Yeah.
Ignition Code.
No, it's a good gun still.
I feel like this was a fun gun when it came out, but now it's been pretty much outclassed by Partner Dest. So bye.
Sure.
Okay, bye. Normie Sniper with a God Roll, not interested. Sorry people.
Okay.
Fatebringer.
Love it.
Okay.
Keep it. Love it. Great gun.
Feeding Friend. I don't know why I kept this. That's bad.
No. No.
This one was okay at the time. I kind of want to try it again with the shotgun changes. This was my baby. This one has a lot of kills on it. 841.
Okay.
So I kind of want to. I don't know. I get rid of this one.
Let's test them out. Okay.
I'll just get rid of one. Oh, there's a bit of
I feel like I'm just like a cheerleader right now. That's all I'm
yeah,
doing. I'm just like, delete that stuff.
Okay.
Delete that stuff.
Which one's going here?
Rapid hit adrenaline.
Okay, bye.
I think.
This is good. 2 very capable 3-tap rolls. I like this one better, so I think this can go.
Okay.
Cool. Done. This is just...
What's that last one?
Nomad.
Don't say PvE. Don't say PvE.
I'm not going to say PvE then. Nomad deletes things whilst Datto watches. That's the title. Do we care about Vulpecula, whatever it's called?
If you have an IS Luna with Headstone, no.
Yeah.
But also if you're not really even using stasis that much, no.
Okay. This is a bad gun. I don't care what.
Love that servant leader.
Do you?
Love that servant leader.
Okay.
Holy cow.
All right, I'll keep that one.
Love that.
Both of these are pretty good for PvP. I would probably take Moving Target over Feeding Frenzy Rampage. So, these pulses are a PvP thing now these days.
Yeah, huge 1350 deleting there.
Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this one as well, and I'm going to get rid of this one as well. Why did I save these? This was a really good roll, really fun to combo with stuff. Going to keep that one.
Okay.
That one was borderline useless.
Another
kill clips don't work on 140s terribly well. There's my Pardon of Dust. Very, very decent roll there. That's a good Wastelander, so keep that. Page 2. Oh my god, we're on page 2. We're keeping crafted stuff, right?
Yeah, keep literally just ignore anything that's crafted.
Okay.
Like, it's crafted, you can make it into the best version you want. Ignore it.
What do you make of high impact autos in PvE?
I feel like people are not stoked on them right now. I forget what Patty said. I think Patty said he's not a huge fan of them, but I honestly forget. But this is 1550. It's also got one for all. We're talking about PvP for one for all.
PvE. I saved this for PvE.
I would rather use Chroma Rush.
Okay.
And I would rather use Quicksilver Storm.
Okay, fair enough. It's gone. I don't think this is a particularly good PvP roll. Perp motion is good, but not one for all.
I thought you said PvP. I was like, what are we talking about right now?
Okay, so I have some guns here. I have these 2 deliverances, which are just bad, I think.
Do you have the pattern?
No, not yet. I'll get the pattern. On the pattern. Yeah, I'm like 3 out of 5. I'll get it. I'll raid. Okay. I'll get it. I can get rid of it.
Yeah, because neither one of these is particularly enticing. Successful warm-ups, fun, but like not crazy.
I like both of these again. Sort of like they're good, but I can do better. You know, like this.
I feel like Ikelos is just ruling the Crucible right now.
Yeah, it is. Okay, we'll get rid of. Oh, that's painful.
And like I'm not. And again, another craftable thing that you can go get.
What even is this weapon good? I don't even remember this weapon.
I used it for a while. It's all the ritual weapons are basically like 75% of the way there. Yeah. Like it's a good gun, but you can definitely get something better. It's like a good starter gun.
Okay.
I used it for a little bit. I wasn't super impressed. I used a Found Verdict for PvP.
It's gone.
Yeah, I just...
Perseus, I think this is infusion fuel. It's gone. Crafted.
Good roll, but like...
Yeah, again. I have the pattern for this. I was too lazy to craft it, so that's gone.
Good.
Firefright, also same story.
Yeah, crap.
Very good fusion. Like it a lot. Haven't used it much, but I like it.
Okay.
This was... Okay, so Lingering Dread. I like Bitterspite, but Partner of Our Dust exists too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think people have been trying to get like a chill clip Lingering Dread.
Which I actually have on a character.
If you're already using... Yeah. Well, I mean, like, Blinding Grenade's Danger Zone is, like, kind of enticing, but if you're just using it for blinding purposes, Feeding Frenzy, I feel like, is kind of, like, not crazy, and I don't think you need really more than one Blinding GL per, like, slot.
So I'm going to go ahead and dismantle this real quick because
new purpose, man. It's like such a good-looking gun, but the rolls for it are just not that good.
See, I think this would make a lot of sense if pulses were better in PvE. But right now they're not, so...
Yeah. And they're also changing match game. Like adaptive munitions is not even going to be that much, like, of a benefit to you, I feel like, in life. I could be wrong, but even now, like, barely anybody's using adaptive munitions. It's only, like, super, super special use cases.
Okay, we're at 5:50, so I'm going to pause the timer there. We have 13 minutes left.
Okay. 13 minutes left.
All right, question number 3. Question number 3. What sort of prep are you doing for the Lightfall raid race? Do you spend a lot of time in math class? Are you guys running practice raids? What's the story there?
We are running some practice raids. We meet once a week to have some discussions and, you know, kind of go over the findings of the week. What have people been talking about? What have people been finding? But right now things are a little just up in the air because there's going to be just such dramatic swings of like how build crafting is going to work, how like what's the meta even going to look like? Are we going to use XYZ strat? Are we going to stick with what we know? Like what are we? You know, we're really good at weapon DPS. Like that is our thing. I think we're one of the best teams to do it in terms of like pure weapon DPS.
Yep.
Are we going to stick with that? Are we going to change things around? Are we going to change people on different classes? Having these conversations, but ultimately we still need to just wait for Lightfall. We need to wait for it to come out. We need to see what the changes are like. We need to see even like what the bosses in the raid, like we could be making changes mid-raid for all we know, just depending on what the boss fights are. So yeah, we're doing some prep. But you know, until Lightfall comes out, it's just like a lot of, you know, theoretically this could be good. Theoretically, prep this. You know, make sure you got this gun. Make sure you got that gun. Have everything that we could possibly think of, and then take it from there.
Do you have a spreadsheet junkie on the team, or are you all collectively sharing that sort of responsibility of knowledge going into it? Like what guns do the best damage? What are the conditions in terms of stacking buffs and debuffs, that sort of thing? And how will you be testing all of that out? Will you be doing lost sectors or old raids? Like what's the plan?
I think Toes is our resident I'm gonna go look up everything guy. Because he just, I don't know if he loves it, if he has an obsession with it. I don't know, but he is our guy when it comes to that kind of stuff. Not to say that other people don't contribute, but he's probably leading the pack in the squad. Testing, I'm sure we're going to use some of our own data, but we're also going to use a lot of community data as well, because there's tons of people who will go out and do damage testing, like who are not YouTubers, you know, who like just want to go post on Reddit or something like that. So we use, you know, a fair amount of community knowledge as well, in terms of, you know, figuring out what's going to be the best, because we don't have time to test every single thing, you know. So we're watching videos, we're checking Reddit, as well as doing our own testing, our own research. So it's a little bit of everything. Yeah, very cool. Okay, let's move on. Resuming the clock. We may need to extend this clock just a little bit, but I'll title the video. Unless we literally just want to go like I could go Omega deletion mode, but the problem is that I don't think it would be very entertaining or like valuable from an education perspective, because like this I would just be like, delete. Yeah. And then the next one would pop up and be like, I'd get rid of it. But it would just be boring. Yeah, that's true. I did the 30-minute gimmick just to keep things moving along, because 600 items in the vault, and I want 200 done. That's fair. All right, so let's resume the clock. 13:49. I will probably extend it by 15 minutes, depending on how we do, or I might just like say fuck the clock altogether. But anyways, let's go. All right, so something new can go. This can also go. These were interesting when they came out, but I haven't used it since. Yeah.
I feel like they're better Riptides, to be honest, and it doesn't have a great roll. So.
Yeah, for PvE, there's definitely better Riptides.
Okay, Enyo D's nuts. What do you think?
Why do you have any of them?
Okay, that answers my question. Bye-bye. I think because there was 600 and they were kind of fashionable at the time, I was getting killed by them a lot.
Is it for PvE, PvP?
PvP.
Okay.
See, I feel
like right now, my brain is like, Ikelos SMG is the god mode.
Yeah.
If you're not using that, literally, why are you even using a submachine gun? That's where my brain is right now. Things could change, obviously.
Because Beloved is a thing, and that's best in slot sniper, arguably.
Yeah, that's fair. But, I know a lot of people are being shotgun gremlins out there. So
True.
And Eye of Soul, I feel like, is, also
very
kind of a good sniper.
Kind of. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Lightweight bows, any use to them?
I personally, I'm sure like bow users are going to be like, blasphemy. For me, I don't care about draw time in PvE literally at all. I feel like as long as you got good perks on a bow, it's going to hit hard enough no matter what the draw time is.
Sure.
Well-rounded is like kind of middle of the road, headstone. You'd be using this bow to execute upon some sort of stasis type build in whatever piece of content you're in. If you don't really find yourself doing that, I'd probably get rid of it. I'm also not really using headstone on a bow that much. I'm just using it on my IS Luna.
Okay.
Or I'm like using chill clip on a fusion or something like that.
Okay. 3 Smiter Marines, there was a thought to test them at one point, but it's such a mediocre pulse rifle that I couldn't be bothered. So,
yeah.
Bye. Interesting gun for PvP. Not quite sure why I haven't used it. I think there's another one on my other character, so that can go too. Crafted this. This can go. There's my craft.
Masterworked triple tap frenzy.
Don't judge me. Don't judge me. It was fun, okay? And I just listen.
Time and money into that. I'm blown away.
Okay. All right, let's move on. We don't have time for this shit. Okay, Whistler's Whim, again, very underwhelmed by in PvP. I think that can go.
Yeah.
Allied Demand, kept it because it looked interesting. Never got around to actually doing... Oh, that has steady hands. Damn. Okay. Well, I'm keeping that now.
All right.
You don't like this. Bye.
Get out of my face.
Steady hands. Well, it's an interesting role, but like... that's sort of how it goes. Same thing with this. Like, used it once. Whatever. Disparity. Yep, that's good. That's
crafted.
Fine. Yep. Interesting, I find.
I tried like a Liminal Vigil Desperado sidearm in PvP, and I think I got Desperado to proc like twice in a handful of games. So I know this isn't Desperado, but I know that was like, oh my god, Desperado on a sidearm. Ah!
Yeah, but see, the thing is, Datto, Desperado requires precision hits, so I think that just might be a case of get good.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm fully aware. I'm not sidearm guy, but I just wanted to like throw it on and be like, what could I reasonably do with this as someone who doesn't play with sidearms a lot? And the answer is literally, I'm dog.
So I want to keep this for a future video because I didn't get around to doing it this season, but I think it's interesting enough to warrant an inclusion here. When that will be, I don't know. Okay, this was one of my first rose rolls before I got a good roll, so that can go.
Okay.
I don't care for this weapon at all. I reviewed it. I
know Desperado's like not really that great anymore.
Yeah. Okay, so we have
a lot of them. Yeah.
Better. See, that one I put a lot of kills on. I don't know why. I think I just did the event mindlessly. Yeah. That's fine, right?
It's fine. Yeah, that is exactly what I would call it. Fine.
Okay, we'll keep that as an option so I can get rid of this one. Okay. Oh no, 525 is the goal. Lodbrok. See, this is a better PvP role, I find, generally, for a high impact auto.
Okay.
So I know the god rolls target lock, but I'll keep this one. This one I don't think we should be getting rid of.
No, I would hang on to that for the time being. It's a pretty tough roll to get for like a world drop. I have one as well. But this one, if you have it and you're not a big, max charge time fusion person, and you have a Deliverance or you have a Riptide, sure, you can get rid of it. But this is just like, what flavor of fusion do you like?
Sure,
do you like fast? Do you like slow? What do you want?
Yeah. Interesting scout. Didn't use it all that much. Do we care?
Okay. If you don't care, then I don't care. I don't think this has been getting a ton of use. I haven't really seen it a lot. It's a 260 RPM, so like I wouldn't begrudge anyone for holding on to it because like a lot of people like 260s, but
yeah. I saved this to test it out, never got to do it. It's a Vanguard drop. I feel like I could do better even this late stage of the season, so bye.
Yeah.
It's a good roll, but like I can do better. Tyranny of Heaven, Archer's Temper Rampage, your favorite. Never used it though.
Yep. This is literally only keep if you don't have another solar bow. Like it's got a good roll. Don't get me wrong, but you clearly have not touched it. And if you have a solar bow, then you can get rid of this.
See, I don't want to do. What is it? Garden, right? I don't. No, it's Last Wish.
No.
It's Last Wish. I don't want.
It's Last Wish.
See, I don't want to potentially.
That's fine. Then don't delete it. Then don't delete it.
Still a great auto. Sentimental reasons keeping that one. Should infuse it and use it.
You're the only person who said age-old bond is a great auto, but we'll move on from that.
Okay. It's just my my first Last Wish weapon, and I used it a lot. So
okay.
It doesn't make sense. Same with this. This is not particularly good, but
I don't tell anyone to delete the Outlaw Dragonfly Nation of Beasts. Okay. I tell nobody to delete it. It's like the first quote unquote fate bringer of D2.
Yeah.
It's very sentimental for a lot of people. I never tell anybody to delete it.
That can stay. Exalted Truth is better than this in every way. Bye-bye. Vouchsafe, no.
No. I'm only keeping this if you don't have another Void Scout. That's it. 4 times okay. Wellsprings,
I have Aisha's Embrace, but like again, that's not a great scout. It's fine. I'll figure it out. This shotgun, got it once. Have to try it out. It's a good roll. Okay. Then we have this thing, which is mostly PvE.
Arsenic Bite, classic.
Actually, no, I haven't
classic
used it.
bow, but
I'll keep it.
If we have so many arc bows, I feel like so just cover. Make sure you got your bases covered.
Yeah. I'm keeping that. Jesus, it's not the Zur ingredient, but it's close enough. Sentiment, but quite honestly, there's no reason for this, so I can bye. Recluse.
Wow. Okay.
Sentiment.
525.
525. Okay, yeah. Stopping the clock. All right. Question 4. What is the objectively correct platform to play Destiny 2 on?
Oh my God. I mean, I'm just gonna say PC because I feel like shooters feel better on PC. But I know, there's a very big learning curve going from controller to mouse and keyboard if you've never done mouse and keyboard gaming before.
But you can
a lot of people ask me, no, you can. You totally can controller as well. PC, you're going to get the best performance. You're going to be able to get those super high frames and great looking gameplay and all that kind of stuff. But, getting a good PC, a bit more expensive than a console. Spare me all the, I can build a PC for $94 that beats a PlayStation 5. I don't care.
Not these days.
For most people, if you want a good PC, you're gonna spend a little chunk of money. So I would say PC, but I understand if people just want to chill on the couch and play some games.
Got it. Okay, let's resume. I'll extend the timer at some point. Okay. Good roll. Never used it.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
We could do it, but it would just not be a fun video.
Yeah,
it would just be silence.
Yeah.
With the word delete peppered in every 4 seconds.
Okay. All right. Then I'll just keep the timer going just for my own curiosity. Knowing Hunger, good roll, really good roll, but never use it. Bye-bye.
Yeah, good gun, but yeah.
Same with this. Like it was fine until other pulses came along. So I'm outie 5,000 here.
All right. Wow. Okay.
I thought this was a good roll before I learned what hand cannons are. Eye of Storm is so good, but Kill Clip, it's good. Again, Exalted Truth is just better now, so there's not much point.
And also, this is 1350. You haven't put any work into it at all.
Spent no cash.
I see masterwork weapons everywhere. If something is not masterworked in your vault, I know something's up.
Okay. What do we think about this one?
I don't think about it at all.
I was going to use that clip of Don Draper.
Call me John Hamm.
Yeah. Feel bad for you.
I don't think about Reckless Oracle at all.
Okay. All right, recently got this, thought it was interesting, haven't done much with it. What do you think?
I think a lot of people are on the Sweet Sorrow crafted train with when it comes to arc auto rifles.
True. Yeah, me too.
I'm sure this is fine, but like if you already have a crafted Sweet Sorrow, I think you got to be a very enthusiastic auto rifle enjoyer to differentiate.
Yeah. Kind of want to keep this one because it's really good for like lost sectors and shit.
Okay.
I feel.
Well, you can pull it out of collections.
True, if we're saving vault space.
This is 1560.
Yeah,
so you haven't. When was the last time you did some lost sector farming?
A little while. We don't talk about this. Anyways, let's move on to another 1350, which can go away. Prep motion, no, don't care. I do care about the kill count on this one, but it's not a good weapon anymore.
Yeah, that's all I've heard is Fellwinter's not a very good gun anymore.
It just served me well. Okay, so a couple of posterities. This one was a recent one.
Okay.
Also craftable. This is just a good PvP
It is
roll.
craftable.
Yeah, I feel like with it being craftable, there's no reason to keep these.
First of all, I definitely don't like the first one. Reconstruction Redirection is like,
it's weird.
You know, it was one of those things at the time where it was like, oh my god, double new perk. It just never really ended up being that good on primaries.
Yeah.
I'm also a vehement 180 RPM hand cannon hater, but I know that they're better on a controller.
They are, yeah.
But if you can craft this, I would craft it and then move on.
I'm just counting down the patterns now at this point, so that can go.
Okay.
Same with this. Actually really like this, but like it's a weird roll. It doesn't make any sense to like, but it works. It just takes a little bit too long to work in PvP. So that can go.
Okay.
I like this. Don't use it, but I like it.
I still use my Adored all the time.
Okay.
But it's also a weapon that you can pull out of collections.
True. Still want to keep it though. Bye.
Okay. Yeah, goodbye.
Also bye. Now, what do we have here? A couple of masterwork. Why did I masterwork these? Oh, MT and Elemental Cap. That's kind of nice, actually, not going to lie. Worth keeping. This one, Overflow Rampage for a solar auto. Oh, and Golden Tricorn too.
I honestly would be keeping it for the Golden Tricorn more. Golden Tricorn's just become a much better or a much more possible thing to use on a gun with all the 3.0 subclasses.
So I got this out. So this is a Witch Queen logo. So this was Void 3.0 season. So this was before Solar 3.0. I should probably give this another go.
Yeah. If you build around making sure you're activating Golden Tricorn as much as possible, I feel like there's a lot of potential for Golden Tricorn to kind of come back. Well, come back would imply that it was ever here in the first place.
Yeah.
But there's potential there. There's potential there.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, nobody has ever used this ever. So why did I keep this? That's disgusting.
Mulligan Thresh.
Yeah.
Massive.
Okay, so I got this. Oh, just for content purposes,
PvP.
There's a community member who really likes this weapon. What do you think about Cloud Strike?
Cloud Strike? For PvE or PvP?
Both.
PvP, I think it's like a fun thing for, the only time I see people using Cloud Strike is at the very beginning of the match and they run over to a control point and they try and snipe someone in the head and get a 5-piece.
Yeah.
And then after that, they switch off of it.
Yeah.
So in that respect, it's fine. PvE, I'll be honest, haven't used it since it became non-meta for Deepstone because it used to proc its lightning strikes either more than it was supposed to or something like that, and it got nerfed and then it kind of fell out of the world. Supposedly the catalyst, I'm gonna just talk out of my ass. I literally have not touched this thing since Deepstone.
Well, the thing is, Datto, when you talk out of your ass, you're more intelligent than 99% of the Destiny community, so that's grounds for a delete, quite honestly.
Here's the thing, is that news travels fast.
Does it
in
now?
Destiny and video game world, right?
Does it?
If
Okay.
something's good, someone's gonna say something because they want those YouTube views, they want those Twitch viewers, they want that Reddit karma, they want it. So news travels fast, and if Cloud Strike or any other gun was really that super Omega hype, I feel like most people would know by now.
That's true. That's true. That entire section was for the benefit of one community member who is obsessed with Cloud Strike. He will much appreciate that. So that is 30 minutes on the clock, and we are nowhere near done. So I'm going to put another 30 on the clock and see what happens. Okay.
5:09. Well, look, we're trying to make this entertaining, right? Again, if we wanted to do 400 or 200 items in 30 minutes, I could do that, but it wouldn't be fun.
Yeah. Glacio, good roll, pretty good roll, very good roll. Keeping that. Yep. Okay, help me out with this one. So blinding and spike, feeding frenzy, swash. And then we have one that I haven't used in a while, which is mostly for PvP blinting purposes. But again, this is when grenade launchers were really, really crazy, and you could do crazy stuff with this. So disruption break, auto loading, and spike nades. So you could one shot on occasion, but the main value was disruption break, just to make them more vulnerable to people using primaries. So do you think any of these have any value whatsoever now?
I'm not much of a GL PvP degenerate, so for me, I'm like for this, I'm like, whatever, do your own thing, live your life. I'm not going to kink shame. The first one, I'm not a blinding GL guy. I feel like I've said this every single time I've done a vault cleaning. I'm not a blinding GL guy. I think the energy slot is too stacked to be using a blinding GL in the slot. I would only use it in the kinetic slot.
Okay.
So unless something happens to blinding GLs in the near future where they become just god tier, wave frames are what I'm using.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to keep this for funny meme nights. That's the only reason.
Okay.
Good weapon, not masterworked. Why didn't I masterwork it? Don't really know. Don't really care to find out. Bye-bye. Then we have this one from No. Then we have this one, which I haven't used since Prophecy. But this is this is V102.
It's also the...
Yeah, this is the old version.
Yeah, this is the second version.
Bye. Fun weapon PvP, also second version. Kept this one for DPS options because after Deepstone Crypt, the world's first did it with this weapon. I was like, oh, I should probably have one of these. But again, old version, that can go too. Okay, these both are very, very good. That can go. But the problem is that Ganora's Axe exists, and it's just better. So I kind of want to get... there's no reason to have two here. So
all right, do it.
This is painful. I got good with slugs on this one. Oof. Wait, there's another one. Still in love with Salvager Salvo?
I love Salvager Salvo personally. I think it's a great weapon. It's one of the very few non-wave frame GLs I actually use. I'll put it this way. I used it this year at some point. So I actually do really like this gun, but you can pull it out of collections.
Yeah, that's true. I'll keep it. I'll keep it for that. All right. Void bow, lightweight.
I'm just surprised that you managed to refill your vault with like not that many dupes. I feel like the most amount of dupes I've seen is 3.
There's more. Don't worry about it. Okay. Should we get rid of this one?
You can craft under your skin.
That's right. Yes.
From season 16.
Bye.
So I double checked that you never mind.
Okay. We are 100 down. That's amazing. And it only took 34 minutes officially. So I wanted to ask you a very special question for the 100th item deleted.
For the 100th item.
Given that you're very famously a Titan main, I want to just ask you, did your own father neglect you as much as Bungie has neglected Gambit?
No, not even remotely close.
Okay. All right.
Not even remotely close. No. I think... like Bungie's tried with Gambit, and like I still feel bad going to the Forsaken event and being like, Gambit is a game changer, dude, because we played in a hyper controlled environment when it was brand new, and in those environments, new things are incredibly fun, and you're gonna have a huge amount of enthusiasm for them. But it is the victim of the sandbox. And it is a victim of just like certain mechanics that are just inherently frustrating.
And they got
times.
power crept to hell as well.
And you know, they gave it the old college try. Like I will not begrudge them for making pretty much no notes in any sort of Lightfall documentation about Gambit, because like They tried. They tried Gambit Prime. They got rid of Gambit Prime. They combined the two, and then like last year they completely overhauled it. And still just people are not into it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't begrudge Bungie for just being like, dude, we tried, man. Like, we got to just make other like, we can't spend all of our time continuously trying to revamp Gambit.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not going to happen. So I don't begrudge them at all for not really making any mentions of Gambit, because it's like, what else can they really do?
For sure. I mean, I definitely empathize as a PvP main, which is sparse when it comes to content at the best of times. But like for Gambit to get nothing, not even balance passes, it's kind of wild, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah. I'm Gambit mains speak up in the Gambit main speak up in the comment.
Yeah.
You know, let us know what your vibe and what does Gambit need. But yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Resuming the clock. We have Igneous Hammer. I like this role a lot. We're getting contacting Destiny servers. Please don't kick me. Yeah, I'll keep that one. That's easy.
Okay.
What do we think about Brass Attacks? Aggressive bursts are pretty meta these days.
I deleted mine, but mine was more of a PvE role. It had like rapid hit rampage. Mine was also 1350.
Okay.
Yours is 1350. It's not masterworked. Are you using it?
No. Do not ask me why I have a non-adept palindrome when I have 3 adept palindromes right here. Don't ask me that. I'm not interested in hearing your response.
I'm not like oh my god, it's not adept, what are you doing? Like, I'm not that guy. Like, if it's a good roll on a non-adept versus like a bad roll on an adept, the adept, like, the word adept doesn't get you more kills.
That's true.
You using the gun gets you more kills.
That's true, but it's embarrassing because I have 3 really good palindromes here. So I've got Outlaw. This is the PvP one. It's got a decent amount of kills on it. I've got a PvE one, which I find quite handy in GMs, or if there's a seasonal one that I need to use. And then I have a sort of like kill ads general mindless farming role, which I haven't used in a while, but like still fun. Like,
honestly, you could replace that one with the sub one for all version. Like, one for all is not just a GM or high tier perk. Like, it works for everything.
That's true.
You know,
that's true.
And I feel like it's even better than Rampage, because you don't even need to kill things. You just do plink, 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 and I have a damage buff for 10 seconds.
And a huge
it's
one,
super
too.
easily refreshed.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's one for all is fantastic.
Okay.
It might. I feel like it might even be target for a nerf. I don't know.
Potentially.
It's just that good and it's that easy.
But Astacross hasn't made a one for all video on it yet, so we'll see.
Yeah. It just I will say, like, I don't think it's gonna get nerfed. This is not me advocating for Bungie to be like nerf one for all. Like, I'm not saying that. Yeah. But if it's a sleeper potential, like if you see 5% get chopped off of one for all, don't say I didn't warn you.
Yeah, that's fair. Again, they kind of do it through usage rates, so I don't imagine the usage rates are pretty high. But if they see fit, if the weapons team are bored, this could be something they can look at. Keening is a really underrated sidearm. Need to use this more. Really like it. Even though it's 1560, don't judge it. It's still good. Love this Frozen Orbit. Use it a lot, even though it's not infused. I bring it out for certain matches where things are a little bit kind of like stale. Surprisingly good weapon. Do not know why I have this. Is this worth creeping?
This is the copium. Maybe snipers will be good. Roll. I would hold on to it until after the Lightfall raid, and then when the Lightfall raid inevitably doesn't have any sniper usage whatsoever, I think it's free to delete. And I think there's going to be a lot of deleted sniper rifles after the Lightfall raid if they don't get an appearance.
Okay. Also a bit of a copium roll. I can get rid of this one.
How many Guardian kills does it take to proc Unrelenting?
2.
Is it 2?
Yeah. Or is it 1? I don't know. Either way, Unrelenting's not making waves in PvP.
Know.
Okay, that can go. Fun roll. Haven't used it ever. Should I just get rid of it? It's a really good roll, actually.
If you're talking about PvP, like knock yourself out. PvE wise, I'm using Insidious, which is crafted from Val.
That's true. I've never used it. I cannot believe I've never used it. Okay.
This is 1350.
Yeah.
1350.
Like
when in doubt, look at the item level. If 1350, that tells you basically everything you need to know.
I'm not sure why I kept this one. I know why I kept that one.
It's kind of okay PvE. It's close to what I would consider the ideal PvE role.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, I think it's still worth keeping around, but if time goes on a little bit more and we get rid of it, so be it.
Okay. No, that can go. All right, funny story about these scouts. You remember once upon a time when we did this last year, I said if we have more long-range maps, these would get some play. Well,
yeah.
Vostok came back. We were prophets. We actually said if Vostok comes back, I'll use this more. Vostok did come back. Haven't used it. Haven't used.
Shocker.
Haven't used this archetype at all. And when I was doing my exotic ranking video, Mida was like surprisingly not good. So I'm kind of like tempted to write this off entirely because it's been a while since 200 Scouts saw any play from the tuning team. And quite honestly, I don't see them ever coming back. And the thing is, the weapons team, generally when they buff a weapon, it's usually a preview that there is a seasonal weapon that matches this archetype that you can chase.
Right. PvE wise, I'm probably using Tarnished Metal, which is from season 18.
Very good.
Can roll Volt Shot.
Yep. Very good.
I think this has been sort of power crept out of the game by that. They're certainly not bad rolls if you wanted to keep using them for PvE purposes. But yeah, I can't recall the last time I was killed. I've been killed by a touch of malice more recently than Eternal Blazon.
It's true.
In PvP.
Speaking of power crept, Grid Skipper. Both of these, actually.
Never liked Grid Skipper. Never could make it work for me. Heating Up Frenzy is probably like the role for PvE. Never could make it work for me. Never started to enjoy it.
I haven't used this in Splicer, so I think these can both go. If I really wanted to focus for them, I could, I suppose. Sojourner's Tale, really good slug. Going to keep that, even though the same role as Gunner's Axe. It's solar option. What do I do about this thing? This one I know I can kill. Bye. But what about this one?
This comes down to, do you like this or do you like Trusty more? Although I forget if we deleted your Trusty.
We did delete the Trusty. I like this because it just, to me, there's a certain amount of nostalgia that Vision of Confluence gives me for D1.
Yeah.
I think when I think of Scouts, I think of Vision of Confluence first before anything else. So this is like my default Scout, but I know it's not a great role.
Yeah, it's not it's not awful. Is it the best? Probably not. But I'm kind of with you on that. Like, Vision is the only 180 RPM Scout that I'll willingly use. Like, I won't use Hung Jury. I won't use anything else. But I will break out a Vision if I need a Solar Scout for PvE purposes.
Yeah.
This, for me, would just be like, do you have a Solar Scout? If not, keep it. If you do, compare the two, see which one you like more.
Okay, we'll keep this one then. Do we care?
Great gun.
Okay.
No, still a very good gun.
Okay.
I use it. I have used it quite recently. Still very, very good.
Okay. Funny meme gun roll. Never not used them too much, but Masterworked fun, so I'll keep that one. This was fun because it was a Suros energy hand cannon, and that was an annual skate. But now we have Exalted Truth, and there's no reason to use this, so this is gone. Okay, these two. I love this weapon. I love Uzume for PvP. This feels like a Copium roll, even though it's got Clown Cartridge.
Yeah, this is a Copium Clown Cartridge. Maybe Snipers will be good. I'll throw it in the same boat as Frozen Orbit. If it's not good, by the time the Lightfall raid rolls around and we're clearing it without Snipers, goodbye.
Okay. Borrowed Time. Both of these guns are... Well, this one's not that good. Rangefinder 1 for all. Kind of don't need Rangefinder in PvE, so that can go. Then Threat Detection Rampage, which I feel like it's a very good roll. My big issue with these, with this gun in particular, is the mag size. Like, it's just not very good. You put on backup mag here, it goes to 28, and that's not enough bullets. So what do we do here? Like, this is a decent gun.
Again, I think iClose is a 750 as well. I'm pretty sure it's a 750.
Yeah, it is.
So do you like iClose or do you like Borrowed Time more?
Yeah, but iClose is Arc and this is Solar.
Right. Does that matter?
Oh, Callus Mini Tools, this thing. Okay, bye. some people are going to be very mad I dismantle that. Bunch of
Whatever.
These are all whatevers, aren't they?
They're pretty whatever.
Okay.
Oh, thanks. They're pretty whatever. Again, blinding GL in the energy slot. The energy slot is just way too stacked.
Yeah.
To be using a blinding GL.
Okay.
In them. And if I am using a GL, it's going to be a wave frame.
They're all gone. Bye-bye. Okay. Vex, the vision, very, very good. Sidearm. Why did I keep these?
These are both just, it's a holiday event. Maybe I'll try it out. Didn't try it out. Literally no one cares about Compass Rose.
Yeah.
LOL, get it out of my face.
Okay, we said that this was a wait and see. I still believe like these are wait and sees, but I haven't waited or seen anything, so
Okay.
I'm inclined to just delete them. I know it's a railgun now, but like, do I care?
Yeah,
that's a good roll.
I've not seen Iota Draconis in PvE or PvP in a very long time.
Glacier is just better, anyways. Two of these also not used ever. I think we can get rid of both, really.
Yeah. There's also a craftable solar auto now as well.
Yep.
And we saved some summoners, so goodbye.
Used this for video once and haven't used it since, so that can go. Punching out. Right. 2 rolls that they're not masterworked. I think that answers that question. Bye-bye. Okay, 475. Pausing that.
Okay.
Question 6. This is more of an interesting one. Okay, I think you'll like this one.
Okay.
So I've been getting more and more into sneakers. Well, I've been into sneakers for a little bit. And, I started around 2019, 2020, like pandemic, just bored, not sure what's going on. And obviously, when you start off, you look at the hype beasts, you look at the Jordans, you look at, both retros and airs. You look at, sort of the classic Stan Smiths and all the name brand sneakers. But as I've found myself getting older, and just not being in my 20s anymore, I found myself falling out of love with sort of the brashly, very visibly colored sneakers that would suggest like a more youthful sort of audience. So I wanted to ask you, because there was one sneaker that I found recently from a complex sneaker shopping video, the Nike Tom Sachs, I think, what's the name of it? Nike Tom.
I know what you're talking about.
You know which ones, okay. General Purpose, that's the one. So for you, I wanted to ask you, do you feel like is your love now, as you've been in this game for a little bit, you've got a decent collection, do you feel like your love for sneakers is developing into a more refined and tasteful affair, or do you still, have that inner hype beast come out and dictate your life?
No, I definitely still have that inner hype beast, for sure.
Yeah.
I've definitely dialed it way back.
Okay.
Since my like peak hype into sneakers, like my collection at one point was like 80 pairs, which I know if you're a crazy sneaker collector, it's probably not that many, but to the average person, 80 pairs of shoes is like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I've dialed it way back since then. I think I'm hovering somewhere in the 30s. But honestly, like, not every single pair of shoes that I own is like a super crazy expensive pair of shoes. My current, like, mostly worn pair of shoes right now is like just like a pair of Ultra Boosts.
Nice.
That, like, I'm walking the dog, I'm going to the store. Like, I don't break out, some of the nicer pairs just for like, going to the grocery store or something like that. I pair them based on the occasion.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of very nice looking, very comfortable, cheap shoes out there if you know where to find them. Like, don't be going to Foot Locker to get a $200 pair of Ultra Boosts when you can get them online for $80, something like that. But yeah, I've definitely dialed it back a lot since then. Again, one of my favorite pairs is like a pair of super like not hype New Balances.
Yeah.
That, I just break out every so often. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it kind of depends. There's definitely some pairs where I'm just like, oh my God, this is hype as hell and need this for the collection.
Yeah.
But I've dialed it back a lot. a lot.
So for me, my gym shoe is the Ultra Boost from 2018. I still have that pair. It's run into the ground. It's still hanging on somehow. I don't know how many kilometers of running I've put into it, or how many days at the gym I've put into it. But it's still going. I still use it. I know I should get a new one, but I can't like it just fits my foot so well. My dailies are an Air Force One, just white pair, just standard.
Yep, classic.
And then my I have two sort of dressy shoes if you can call them that. I have Jordan 3 Retro blues, and then I have a Nike Blazer 77 with the blue swoosh. I like blue a lot. So
Nice.
So those are like, they're all white sneakers, and this is sort of my only bag. I've never been a big fan of sort of like the orange or the yellow or the purple, like multicolored sneakers, unless I had an outfit for them. And my outfits tend to be quite neutral in color. I don't feel I'm not.
Well, here's what I would say about that is actually that's the perfect time to have like a flashy pair of shoes. When the rest of your outfit is neutral, that's when you can kind of like go a little bit crazy with the shoe choice.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like matching purple shoes with like, you know, like orange clothing or green clothing or anything like that.
Sure.
But if you're wearing blacks and whites,
then
that's the time. Like that's when I'm breaking out my purple shoes.
It just makes it stand out. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't think I have that in. I don't have the balls to do it, to be quite honest. I can't.
It's not as
like there's a bit of a clown shoe effect, isn't there? Like it's like look at my fucking shoes sort of thing.
You don't need to be as brave as you think you do.
Okay.
I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
You don't need to be as brave. Like most people will just be like, "Oh, that's interesting."
Sure.
You know, if the shoe looks good, my favorite pair is Purple Lobster. Look up Purple Lobster Nike SB. Those are as purple gets.
Okay.
Compliments all the time on those things.
All right.
You know?
Noted. So I'll be more brave with my shoes. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Don't
move
be
on.
afraid.
Let's move on. Okay, we have a bunch of Sara's verse, which is they're good, kind of. Okay, that can go. I still like this roll. I think it's excellent, and there's so many different options too. Yeah, I'll keep that one.
You do have a lot of options.
This one, not so much. I feel like we can get rid of that one.
For all my PvE lords, was it Sweet Sorrow?
Yeah.
You can keep using that. PvE. Just keep using that.
Copium roll, never used it, never good. Bye.
What is the copium here, though?
The copium was quick draw and hip firing and shit, but like whatever. It's literally whatever. Now this is
Okay.
This one was objectively the best PvP roll for this gun, which should tell you everything you need to know about this weapon. It's not a PvE weapon. And if it's not a PvE weapon, it's not a PvE weapon. It's not good in PvE. But it's rare and it's hard to get, so
I would literally keep it on that alone.
yeah. Collector's item.
But yeah.
Okay. This is the true Vanguard roll of this weapon, Jurassic Green. Arguably the only good roll of this weapon, which it kind of it needs a lot of help. It's a bad weapon, and anybody who says otherwise is lying. Quite honestly, statistically down.
I'm very glad to hear that because I was like, I didn't think this was like that great of a gun.
No, it's a subjective feel thing. With rangefinder, it feels good. Without rangefinder, it's horrible. Okay, so that's done.
So are you gonna delete it or?
Yeah, no, I'll keep this one just because it's rare and it's same reason as the other one. This one's just not good.
All right.
This one again, Suros, whatever. God roll shoddy, not doing anything about that. Keep that one.
Yep.
Okay, so I tried blunt execution rounds. I don't get it. I feel like it's just
I don't like them.
It's a gimmick perk, so that can go.
Yeah, total gimmick.
This is my best BXR until I get it crafted, so I want to keep it for that reason.
Fine.
Okay. Copium.
What is this?
I don't know.
This is one of very few guns in this vault where I can very safely say, what is this?
It's a bad choice, okay? Had too much to drink. It's gone. We don't have to talk about it anymore.
And it can also be crafted.
Okay. Done.
Crafted.
Yep. Easy. This can be crafted
Easy.
as well. Done. I actually have a crafted version of this. It was a fun roll, though. This was a really fun roll. Genesis Frenzy. Under your skin is there. Have a couple of other ones here that can go because they're crafted. Same story with this. Sweet Sorrow.
Yeah, Sweet Sorrow. You've had Sweet Sorrow this whole time.
Yep, pretty much. You're right. Okay, Crisis Inverted is one of those, like, if you know type weapons, but I know and I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of Crisis Inverted. That's basically what my PvP analysis comes down to, is like, if I'm getting killed by it, it's probably good.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing a lot of Crisis Inverted.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like in this slot, you're dealing with Palindrome, you're dealing with Exalted Truth, even dealing with Ignis Hammer too. Like, it's a good option.
Yeah. I still think 120s are good. They're not like the dominant force that they used to be, but I still think they're pretty beefy.
So, Lubra's Rune, I want to ask you about this. Haven't got it crafted.
Okay.
Quite like this weapon, but Judgment of Kel'Grath is also a solar glaive, and apparently it's just better. And I do have that crafted.
Yeah.
Is there any point to keeping this?
I personally don't think so. I have not used the new glaive just yet. I just got the pattern for it, so I do want to level it up and check out some of the newer perks on it.
Sure.
But I think that's kind of the feeling that I've gotten from that, as well, as like that's like the Judgment is like the glaive to go get.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I'm not a glaive person. Talk to Mylan about glaives because he loves glaives.
Sure.
But I think that is the glaive to go get.
Okay, then I will delete.
And again, you can craft this.
Yeah, you can. So I'll delete that one too. This one was interesting, and I don't have it crafted yet, so keep.
Okay. If you're using it, keep. But this thing has 72 kills on it,
And not mouse to work.
so I don't feel like you're using it that much.
You're right.
But Forbearance is an excellent weapon that I'd highly recommend getting the pattern for.
Yes, I would love to get an adept version of it too. Had this when you didn't have it crafted. Now I have many crafted, so that can go.
Okay.
Hey, what should we do with this 180 hand cannon from Iron Banner, Datto?
With stats for all, one for all. Oh my god. How do these things... I just don't understand how... So, like I'll narc on you. You said you were keeping a couple of bummer weapons in here to like keep up the pace. I get it.
Yeah.
This can't be one of them. Like this is not accidentally just like, let me just pull this Frontier's Cry. Iron Banner hasn't been around for 3 weeks.
I genuinely forgot about this weapon being here. I genuinely, like, most of these I sort of know. And
but how does it end up here? I've reached my breaking point. How does some of these things just end up in here? That you're just not like, instant delete.
There was a thought of maybe trying it out, and then I never tried it out.
Okay, fine.
What does one for all feel like in a 180?
Fine.
Okay, done. Why did I keep this? The holiday weapons.
Two of the same.
Yeah. I don't use these. These are gone. And
the title remains the #1 gun that people grinded for
that nobody uses
during a holiday event that they thought they were really going to use and then never used.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, a couple of Aishas. This was interesting roll.
It's the meme roll.
Yeah.
I want a damage perk.
Yeah.
Like, this was like, haha, funny. Oh, triple tap 4 times. You could shoot so many bullets. But no one uses it.
Unless it gets some sort of, like, scouts get a damage buff in PV, which they have been talking about, actually. On one of these podcasts.
Yeah, but I'd still even want a damage perk on top of this.
Sure. Okay, so that can go. Also non-adept, not huge about it. This is a very good roll, very good scout. I don't get the opportunity to use it as much, but when I did use it, I did like it, so I want to keep that one.
All right, that's fine.
I have 3 Ogmas. Why do I have 3 Ogmas?
Okay. None of them are
good.
That thrilling to me at all.
I think Heating Up Adrenaline was for PvP. This one was for PvE, and this one was for reasons we don't talk about.
All right.
Disgusting Fusion.
Fine. Keep. Yeah, good perks.
Just started playing around with this. This was in my vault, and I used it for one game. Didn't do too hot, but also pretty good roll.
Okay.
Self-explanatory.
Great. Classic.
This one I got recently, and I got flashbacks to that trailer where you did...
We're at 449. 449.
Oh shoot! Sorry,
450.
I completely forgot.
Yeah. I just saw that as well.
Yeah,
I was
okay,
like,
okay,
you're be coming up on a question soon, right?
Question 7. Okay, now I really want you to listen very carefully to this one. Okay.
Oh boy.
In Insomniac's Spider-Man game, spoilers if you haven't played it or anybody who hasn't played it themselves.
I've no plans to play it, so
okay.
Talk on.
So in the Insomniac Spider-Man game, Dr. Octavius is the boss of Peter Parker. And he thinks that Peter Parker makes Spider-Man's outfits without realizing Spider-Man is Peter Parker himself. So Dr. Octavius helps Peter develop a new spider suit. And in the notes of one of the journals that he left for him, there's an inscription that suggests that higher contrast leads to additional processing time, so roughly 20 milliseconds or so. There's also a study in our real world from researchers Rebecca Champion and Paul Warren that would agree with that hypothesis that additional contrast will lead to greater processing times, albeit only at the preliminary stages of motion processing. So that given that Destiny 2 is a video game which requires a lot of rapid motion processing, would you agree that the Crayola Titan look is objectively the most competitive fashion look for PvP?
If that's literally all I have to go on, then like data would suggest that. Practically speaking, I literally have no insight into that at all. I also do feel like when people do that type of armor setup, that they tend to wear very big armor pieces.
Yes.
Which would make them stand out a bit more, like, you know, not necessarily easier to hit, but you would stand out more.
Sure.
So if that's all I have to go on, then I guess theoretically, that could be true. But I feel like it's also one of those things where it's like someone's using, you know, Wings of Sacred Dawn in a PvP match, and you're shooting someone and they stand still in the air, and your aim drifts away because you think they're going to keep moving, and they get you, and you're like, you got me. But then for the rest of the game, you're going to remember that person has that, and you're going to kill them every time. Not exactly the same vibes, but similar.
I see. Okay.
But I feel like it's going to be very, very difficult to prove such a thing.
I think empirically speaking, we can all safely assume that anybody that rocks the Crayola Titan look will befuddle any enemy they come across once.
Yeah.
And then they will be laughed at
Yeah.
repeatedly. But you only need that one kill.
Yeah.
You only need that one kill and that one clip to post on Twitter to prove that you're a PvP god. So, I'm going to have to say that the hypothesis is correct. Though this would definitely be grounds to ruminate on a further video, maybe a Datto's Thoughts video on competitive PvP fashion.
We'll see about that.
Okay. Thank you for humoring such a ridiculous question. Let's move on. All right.
What are we doing with these?
There was a thought to replicate the trailer shot from Witch Queen, but I've never used them, so I think they can both go. Like, they're fine, but like, why would you use it?
Fine rolls, yeah, but
hey, some copium for
more
you.
copium. Keep them both.
Keep them both.
Delete them after Lightfall Raid. Yeah,
okay.
Keep them both.
All right.
Because there's not every single situation are you going to be able to be in a firing line formation. You know, we've had fights where people have had to split up before, and if you're using this for boss damage and you have to be split up, then Vorpal's going to be better because you can't activate firing line.
Would adaptive frames be a disadvantage in this case? Why not just use the frozen orbit from earlier?
I think we'd have to figure out mathematically which one ends up being higher DPS versus total damage.
Right.
Generally speaking, the faster you can fire a gun, the higher DPS it's going to be, but the lower total damage it's going to be.
Sure.
So if we have a window of time that's like really short, you're going to want a 140 to crank out that DPS. But if we have a longer window, or we have a window of time where total damage matters more than DPS, then you might want something a little bit slower firing.
Understood. Okay. So we've got crafted. These are all craftable too, so I can get rid of these. These were literally patterns that I just threw in the vault. I have a Forgiveness I like. It's not this one. It's on my Titan, so I'm going to delete this one.
Okay. I
like this a lot. It's not the best roll, but it feels really good, so I like it.
Okay.
Do I keep it?
I tried to like Unforgiven. I had one that had 0 reload speed, so I needed to activate, or I needed to like get Bitter Spite rolling to really manage my reloads.
Yeah.
And that's probably the main reason I didn't end up liking it. Also, Funnel Web exists, and Funnel Web is just so good.
Yeah.
So if you do want to keep it, like I'm not gonna say a whole lot if you want to keep it, but for me personally, I'm just going straight to Funnel Web. this gun can be good. It can get some interesting rolls. But I think you gotta really, really like it to use anything
Maybe
other than just defaulting to funnel web.
maybe it's copium, but I feel like the added range was helping in certain situations. Does it have more zoom?
Okay.
Zoom 14 and funnel web has a zoom of they're the same, so it is copium. Never mind. So yeah, I probably should delete this one. This one's gonna hurt because I had some good times with that. Woof. And then this one never used, so that can go too. These sidearm SMGs, used them a couple of times for a video, got the video footage, thought the video was quite shite, so I didn't use them. I'm keeping this for the meme factor alone. It is quite literally bad, the worst shotgun in the game. Good PvP roll. For PvE, I feel like you've got better options here.
It's fine, but again, I think most people are just going to default to Insidious because they have more specialization options available to them.
Don't have enough Epicureans. Actually, I have no Epicureans, so I just want to keep that for that reason. This is a PvP roll.
No Epicurean?
No, yeah. Couple of Strident Whistles. I feel like that's interesting.
Yeah, I can't remember if I've used Incandescent on a bow just yet. It seems fine.
Sure.
But I haven't really had to break out a solar legendary bow in a while. And that's mainly because if I'm using a bow in the energy slot, I'm probably busting out one of the exotics.
Okay.
I'm making an excuse for an exotic because the exotics are just too good and too fun to be using over legendaries.
Yeah, okay.
So if you want to keep one of them, I know we kept that Tyranny of Heaven.
See, this I feel like this would be a good PvP option, but I've never used it. That's the only thing. Like you get a kill with a kinetic, and then you just like swap to this and you get a really good damage buff. But would it one shot? I don't know. I'm sure there's a bone main that will tell me. I'll keep both.
Yeah,
let's do both.
All
right. Never used it. Never gonna.
No.
Same deal. I don't know why I masterworked it. All of these are craftable, and they're all kind of mediocre, so I want to get rid of all of them.
Yeah, it's middle, and interesting if you build around Repulsor Brace specifically.
Yeah. So I'll keep that for Void Scout reasons, I suppose.
Until you can craft it.
Yeah, this is just bad. Ugh. And then neither of these are great.
I'm not particularly enthused about either one of them.
Okay. Down. These are craftable, and I got these craftable. Really fun with Volt Shot. So I can do that.
Yeah.
Can do that. Don't kick me. Thank you.
There it is.
I have an Adept Inquisitor. Also, Ganora's Axe is literally the same weapon. Out.
Okay.
Interesting for Void 3.0 things, quite honestly. But not the most competitive pulse out there.
Yeah, Slideways to me in PvE just feels like a bit of a waste. I know it partially reloads the mag, but
it's not worth it.
It just it's not, Yeah. I'm sure there are better. I don't know what the exact perks on that gun are, but I'm sure there's a better one.
Funny anime gun. Why?
Yep, good roll.
Wait, why do I have so many of these?
More Jurassic Greens.
Okay, so let's investigate. Why did I keep this one? This one was for Golden Tricorn, and TV made a thing for Golden Tricorn, I suppose. That's a reason. It's not a good reason. 17 zoom.
Yeah.
This is why I kept that one. Rangefinder multi-kill clip. Right, so this is the updated version of this roll. So I guess I can keep the new one because that one has an origin trait. So this one can go, finally. Rest in peace.
All right.
A couple out of bounds here. Neither.
425.
120. Oh, thank you. You're better at keeping track of this than I am. Okay. Question number 8. We have 25 left to go. So this is the second last question. When it comes to content creation, what's the one constant behavior, attitude, or mantra that's kind of kept you going and helped you ride the ups and downs of this job?
Realistically, it's the fact that I literally don't know how to do anything else. I worked in television for like 3 years, and Could I go back to that? I'm sure I could. Do I think some of the skills that I have developed since running a YouTube channel could be translated into something much better? Yes. But number one, people keep watching. If people had if my viewership has gone down, I probably would have stopped by now. So people keep watching. So that's one thing. The lifestyle, it's pretty nice. I have a lot of freedom in my job. I'm in a very privileged position, and that can be kind of tough to give up. And the 99.9% of jobs that I could be doing would not be as fun as what I am doing right now. So there's a lot of things going for me in this job. People keep watching. Viewership's still good. It's a way better job than anything else I could be doing. And the pay's not too bad either.
So forgive me if you've answered this before on stream or in a different video, but was there a point when you realized that, all things considered, I could be way worse off in terms of career, in terms of finance? Was there just a point where you just realized this could be a thing? And how long did it take you to get to that point?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I'd say early, before even Destiny came out, I realized hey, if I start early enough, there's not a lot of competition right now. It's me and 2 other guys making Destiny videos. I feel like the time that I realized it could be a thing is when I had a video get promoted by Kotaku April 2014 or May 2014. Wow. I don't know, some early where they post about my breakdown of Devil's Lair. Sure. And the video got 40,000 something views. And yeah. That's when I kind of realized we're actually kind of making it. Honestly, if we go even further back, when I got a Bungie community focus in January 2014, that was the first time that my channel experienced consistent growth. Yeah. It wasn't just 10 subs here, -2 there, +8 here, 0, -4. Every day it was 20, 20, 21, 20, 15. It was consistent, and I knew if I kept it up, it could probably keep going. Yeah. Now I've had a lot of moments where I was well, this is completely over, and I wanted to just be pack it up, or let's get out of here. But I'd say very early, before Destiny even came out, a couple of those instances where it's oh wow, I could actually make it. I could actually make something happen here. So yeah.
That's very motivating. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to the final 25, which I want to just point
25 to go.
Which I just want to point out, we are somehow still on page 3. Now, I know we've gotten rid of 3 pages, it seems, right? Because there's only 9 pages. But there's 6 more pages of shit to go. So I'm sure I could get rid of maybe half this, or even more than half. Because I don't have trouble letting go, ever. It seems.
I've been telling people that I'm just going to record a soundboard of myself saying vault things so that they could just because I feel most people could just do this. They just need a motivating force behind them. Sure. So I'm just I want to make a soundboard, just some classic lines but when was the last time you used that? Yeah. And you just click it, and then people will think when was the last time I used that? And then they can just get rid of their own stuff.
Maybe throw in a few abusive ones in there, because I found them through my stream. Right. Whenever I stream, whenever I yell abuse at people, they sub to me. It's weird.
Yeah. It's what the hell is this?
Or I'll just
get this crap out of my face.
I'll get rid of this crap out of your face. But I'll also say things Daddy's very disappointed in you, and that seems to work a lot. Anyways, all 3 of these are not particularly good. There was an inkling that they might be, but they weren't. Crafted, not crafted.
Is there a worse perk than Gut Shot Straight?
I don't know, but I have
that perk is just so not good.
I have a little thing to show you.
Oh my god. This is one of the worst rolls that I feel can even exist on a gun.
That's precisely why I kept it.
Oh my god. It's just I tried Gut Shot Straight on just random Lost Sector stuff. Yeah. And it's amazing how much worse the game felt when using this perk.
it was a nice idea, but I think it was just literally created out of spite by the weapons team. Oh, you want a game with less aim assist? Well, here you fucking go. And that's what's going on.
Yeah, it's like see how this game works with something like that instead, without the target acquisition.
And as it turns out,
look, yeah, it feels terrible. It feels awful.
Crafted, also craftable.
Also crafted.
Like this, it's fun.
Okay.
Don't really know why I have to. I guess it's good damage, but like again, not sure why it's there. I could probably go.
It's a rare draw.
Really want to delete
Valley's
this.
X, yep.
I really want to delete this.
You want to delete it? I mean, we can. I'm sure we can pull it out of collection.
We can, and I'm not attached to this at all, so it can go. Bye.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a few of these. This is staying for absolute meme reasons, so that can be locked.
Okay.
This is alternate PvP role that I haven't got around to testing a master acted. I think these two can probably go, but Perfect Float and Encore do stack, or they or at least it's interesting because Encore is your damage perk, which gives you stacking bonuses. Perfect Float is sort of like your PvP version of Frenzy, where you get extra airborne effectiveness. So I feel like these two together would be really interesting, or you could even do Frenzy things if you're in combat for that long. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting one.
So here's the thing about Exalted Truth is, number one, I've never even earned this gun. So I've never even gotten it. Number two, I've never played with Perfect Float or really Encore at all. My thing about Perfect Float is that you say it acts like a frenzy for PvP. My experience with Frenzy in PvP is that I can never get the effing thing to proc in the first place.
Yes.
So if this has similar behaviors to Frenzy, then I would be skeptical at how good it is just based on my experience with Frenzy.
So it does give you a significant boost to Perfect Flow, but you do have to be in combat for a significant amount of time. This is what I would like to describe. There's a suite of perks, a few selections of perks, which I would like to describe as Kami perks. Because if you're Kami Cakes, you know how to time every single thing that's going on in the game. You know exactly where the enemy's placing their left foot in front of their right foot. You know what the overall score... You're a genius, essentially, and you have this overarching view of what's going to happen in the game and when it's going to happen, and then you can just tailor your movements to suit fit. But the 99.9999999% of players are not Kami level players. In fact, most people aren't Kami Cakes. So the benefits of a time-based perk in PvP is questionable to the vast majority of people. That being said, it works for me sometimes. Sometimes I can do it, and it's really cool when it does. But I'm not sure if I want to, have a weapon that requires me to be super switched on when I just want to shoot some people. That's my...
That's probably what I'd say about that, is the payoff of how much more you have to work to make the thing be good for you worth the payout?
Generally, no. Probably not.
Then I think we have our answer. And a perfect example of a Kami perk, I think, for the overall player base is Eye of the Storm. Is like PvP players will swear by Eye of the Storm. Eye of the Storm's great. It's great. It's great. But that's because you're so in tune with the game that you know when to appreciate Eye of the Storm when it procs. Like, you can feel its effects when it happens, whereas 99.9% of other players, when they're shooting their guns, they are not going to notice an effing difference when Eye of the Storm
I would
procs.
say Eye of the Storm is a lot more accessible because it procs at 156 HP, which is basically you get tagged once by anything and you're under that health threshold. And it does definitely make a big difference when it comes to dueling. And if you're somebody who cares a lot about dueling, so if you're in that like top 10 or even top 20% of PvP players, you can definitely feel it. Whether it's as obvious as a damage perk, definitely not. It's an under the hood thing. But
and that's what I think a lot of people go on is like, and that's why Bungie talks about feel a lot. They want things to feel good, and Eye of the Storm for someone not as in tune with the game might not feel as good because you don't know what to look for.
Yeah, that's 100% true. If you don't know what to look for, you don't know how good it is. But if you do, it's a S tier perk, which is why everyone puts it towards the top at all the God roll recommendations. Okay, I'll keep the rest of these. I do want to try this out. Encore and Killing Wind. Killing Wind Kill Clip is probably going to be a very good roll. Two kill condition perks are kind of bad, though, I have to say. So I might just dismantle this one, even though I'm also...
Okay, just going for it.
Yeah, because I already have like this one, which is better.
Okay.
You know.
Fine. Yeah.
Okay, where are we? We lost our train of thought. I have 3 glacioclasms. Why do I have 3 glacioclasms?
Okay.
I have Killing Wind, High Impact Reserves. No.
I think that sub. Oh my God, Reservoir Burst one. That was all the rage. That was like, you gotta get this roll.
And nobody uses.
You gotta get the subsistence. Nobody uses. Because it's a fast firing.
Yep.
Or sorry, it's a slow firing. It's a slow firing version, and people don't like the slow firing version. I'm sure there's slow firing fusion enthusiasts out there who use it all the time. The general public is not. And if this was like, deliverance speeds or super fast speeds, it'd be getting a ton of use.
Yeah.
But it's just not.
It's not. This one seems more interesting though. Generally, offhand strike as well.
Yeah. This is another thing where you got to really build around repulsor brace.
That's
you got to
fine.
make sure you're procking it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I don't know how good of a perk it really is.
Okay, and then Glacioclasm. Like I have an Under Pressure High Impact Reserves. This has got Slide Shot. It also has a couple of Origin perks. I'm not super keen on this one. I'm probably an idiot. I'm dismantling it because we need to dismantle things.
Look, if you're not using it, it doesn't matter how good it is. It doesn't make you an idiot if you're not using a gun.
Yeah, that's
if
true.
you're not using a gun, it doesn't matter how good it is. Doesn't matter.
This is an interesting weapon. Don't use it. I just got it, so I'm jury's out on this one.
Okay, fine.
Commemoration is a thing, and I'm ready to let go of this one.
Okay. Yeah, this is another very iconic weapon in the game.
Bad perk, though.
I have never told anyone to. It's not the greatest role in the world.
Yeah, but it worked for me. So, bye.
But Godspeed.
Same here. Like again, like sort of a legendary weapon, like an iconic weapon for a while. But haven't used it in a while, so I feel like I can get
The only thing I would say about this is keep unless you have the machine gun from the dungeon, because otherwise that literally might be your best arc legendary machine gun.
I have the Swarm.
Okay, that's fine too.
Okay, so I'll get rid of this one. Okay, 412, counting them down. Now I remember. Okay, 21% Delirium. Again,
You can pull out of collections.
yeah, that's gone. Then we have Corsair's Wrath, which for a while was the only solar linear fusion, but that's not a good roll. It's the PvP roll.
Get rid of this.
Yeah, it's gone.
When Cataclysmic exists,
Exactly.
Corsair's Wrath has been permanently power corrupt out of the game.
Yeah, this is a fun gun. We haven't used in a while, so that's gone. Then we have this one, Crowd Pleaser. Again, interesting roll, not great.
Same roll, but it's void.
Yeah. Code Duello, for reasons that were very apparent last year.
Yeah, I mean, if we go back to some sort of hot swap meta where we're switching rockets or switching weapons a lot, and you gotta have auto loading holster proc.
Yeah.
I think this is fine. There's certainly other options out there, but if you don't have them, then I think this is okay to hang on to. But this is a weapon that needs a meta to support it.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Bye-bye. At the time, this was the only one with chain reaction. Then I never used it, so that can go too.
Yeah, like most people.
Threaded Needle, still good, I find.
Taipon exists, crafted though, if you have it.
Oh, true, yeah. Okay, then that's gone then. Okay, we have the Swarm. Machine gun meta incoming. Kind of want to keep it to see what happens.
Yeah, just hang on to it.
This is bad. Why did I keep this? This is...
No, it's not that bad.
It's not
Okay.
PvP
All right,
weapon.
This, on the other hand,
Reads exists. Not good. Why?
this is not the correct measure I'd be using.
No.
Feeding Frenzy good, Thresh not so much.
Okay, we have 2 Hesitant Vengeance. One's with Impulse Amplifier and Whirlpool. This one has that.
I mean, Overflow is good, but that's the only thing it really has going for it. I will say that, again, the faster you can fire a gun, the more DPS it's going to do. And one of the main factors on rocket damage is not reloading. So as
Overflow.
the less you have to reload, the better it's going to perform. Even, damage perks aside, this aside, that aside, the faster you can shoot a rocket, the more damage it's going to put out.
Okay.
So just by virtue of the fact that at one point for one time you can get 2 rockets in the chamber, that's why I would keep it. Although cluster bomb is not anywhere what it used to be.
Okay, that's 400, and I'm sure that, just looking at this, there's a lot more we could do, but I don't want to take any more of your time. I don't want to take any more of our viewers' time. So question number 9.
Hit me.
Big one. What would you like to see Destiny 2 become post-final shape?
Oh, man. My fear is that literally nothing will change at all. And it's just going to be like, final shape comes in, cool, it's awesome, great story, finish, and we're right into the next season, and I feel like nothing has changed. Whether or not that's justified, I don't know. It's not like they're going to turn it into an RTS, right?
Yeah.
Like, Destiny's not going to become
No,
anything. And I think the past 2 years have shown that.
Yeah.
Is like, Destiny knows what it is. It knows what it is, it knows what it wants to be, and it's going to keep being that until the end of time. So I don't know if it's really, like, if I have any justification for just being like, change for no reason at all other than because I've been with this franchise for 10 years and I want to see something different. I just hope that Bungie is capable of doing any sort of like grand scale changes that they've maybe wanted to do, but have just been waiting because they have been in get to the finish mode, which is what I've basically been calling like the last couple of years for Destiny, where it's just like they have their whole storyline laid out and they know exactly where they want to go and they have all the story beats lined up and they just want to get there.
Yeah.
And anything that's not completely broken in shambles is going to be fine, and it's probably not going to get any changes. And I'm completely talking out of my ass about this. I'm sure it's not actually what's going on at Bungie, but I hope that they do have some things that are just like, let's wait until Final Shape, and then as soon as Final Shape hits, then we can do sweeping changes. We could do all this stuff that we've wanted to try out and try this and try that, but let's just finish this first.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the other things that we wanted to do. I hope that there are things like that that will make things kind of, change up for the better. But personally, I don't really have any like specific demands. And I know that like change the game for no reason other than because I feel like things need to change is not a good reason to change the game. Yeah. It's a stupid reason. It's a very dumb, selfish reason.
You don't change the gunplay. You don't change the overall. Maybe you change the seasonal structure. I think that's the easiest one you change. Well, easy. Yeah. Just by easier said than done. But like, I think that's the one thing everybody would agree would need the most change. Do you make it more PvP focused? Probably not. That audience has gone to other things. No. Do you reintroduce Gambit? Probably not. Like, I think you leave a lot of it behind, but as long as you keep the pew-pews consistent, then you're good. And maybe a couple of characters.
That's why I don't think, like, there's going to be a dramatic shift is, like, again, Destiny knows what it wants to be. The past 2 years have been the most consistent Destiny experience that we've had for the whole franchise.
Yeah.
They're not going to change a whole lot. They're just not going to change a whole lot. And, but like, I want things to change, but not too much. It's kind of the same thing that every game goes through. It's like, I want change, but I don't know what I want. I just want it to be not this anymore.
Yep. 100%. One final question before you go. For people who are looking to get into content creation and perhaps looking for a little bit of advice, just to provide a little bit of motivation, at what subscriber count do the checks from Bungie start to cover all of your rent?
Oh, man. You got to be at least 6 figs, I think.
So 100,000?
At least 6 figs.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's when you really start to that's when you get the silver play button, and then there's the code on the back of the play button, and you enter that into the website, and then that's where you kind of gain the access to all of their features and whatnot. So unfortunately, you do need to just wait for that code to roll in on that plaque.
And at $1 million, they took over your mortgage, right?
I think it is mostly covered.
Okay.
I'll have to go back and check.
Okay, that's why you've been able to build out your sneaker collection so well.
Yeah. Saving a lot of money on the mortgage.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, everybody. Bungie pays Datto to buy sneakers. Datto, thank you so much for nuking my vault. I'm going to do a little bit more now. I'm sure I can get under 300. But yeah, this was amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we were able to clear out a lot, but I want to see more. I want to see a more proactive approach from you going into the future.
I'm getting homework.
Just
for
more
the next...
proactive. Just, let's get ahead of things, because there's a lot of stuff in here where you're like, I literally don't even know why this is in here.
That's true.
If you're getting that feeling as you're putting an item into the vault, just toss it.
That's
just
true.
Get rid of it.
That's very true.
I want to see be more proactive. The more proactive you are now, the less you got to do later.
Yes, sir. It will happen.